at y'all boys with another banger, and today, yes, the day has finally come, boys. We got that Road to Glory deep dive. Yes, they dropped the blog, they didn't drop no trailer today. We're gonna hop into it. We're gonna go over everything in the book. Let's get into it. Now, wait one damn minute. Before we do get into everything, make sure you guys drop a like, comment, and subscribe, fellas. Doing those three things will help you boy out a lot, and we'll be covering college football 25 and Madden 25, both on this channel right here. So make sure you guys are tapped in and got that noti bell on. Now let's get straight into the blog, boys. So yes, they dropped the blog today. EA dropped the blog regarding college football Road to Glory. Yes, they did drop this today, and they did not drop a trailer, which I'm kind of surprised about. But at the end of the day, I'm not really that mad because the game is about to drop literally in about 3 to 4 days. So I'm really not that, I'm not that mad. We're about to, get our hands on the game anyway. But like I said, they dropped a long blog today, and I'll have a link to the blog in the description below because I probably won't cover every single, word on it because like I said, it's pretty long, but I'm obviously gonna get the main stuff that y'all need to know about the mode. And I do want to also say, I'm gonna say this right off the bat because everybody and their mama has been asking me, yes, they do say on the blog that the team builder is the last and what's the next and final deep dive they're gonna do. So I would assume tomorrow, yes, because they don't drop deep dives on the weekends and they wouldn't drop it Monday because the game is dropping Monday. So I'd be surprised if they did it Monday. So I would definitely say tomorrow, Friday, is gonna be the team builder deep dive, and they should also drop the website that same day. So yes, expect team builder, the website and everything to drop tomorrow, which is a huge W. So now getting right into the blog, boys. So the first thing kind of talk about with this blog is basically the 4 core pillars that they, worked around with building this mode. Obviously, there's been some changes. The game hasn't dropped in about 10, 11 years. So there's been some changes in some ways they got to kind of go about it differently. So the 4 core pillars that they're going about and kind of building upon with this mode is going to be 1, live the life of a college athlete, which obviously, that means just immersion and making sure, you feel like a college athlete. Next thing is going to be the week-to-week experience. Once again, doubling down that college athlete experience. You have to make decisions making. And then the third thing is going to be fast to fun and highly replayable. So that was my main thing, and that was like the biggest number one thing I want to see from this mode is it needs to be fun and it needs to be, replayable. I have to be able to, drop hours, do multiple playthroughs without getting bored and having some, to actually feel like, I'm actually playing something new every single time I do it. And then the fourth thing is gonna be the foundation for the future. So this right here, it says Road to Glory is not about the here and now. It's about building a lasting legacy. This year lays the groundwork for future enhancements, ensuring that your journey as a college athlete continues to evolve and improve. So that's huge too. They're not just thinking about now, they're thinking about, years down the road, things of that nature. So this is building the foundation. Now also, boys, I'm letting y'all choose right down in the comments below. Let me know, what position should we start off with day 1? Should we go wide receiver or should we go cornerback? What should be the first playthrough? What should be the first storyline for Road to Glory? Let me know in the comments below. Should I be 5-star, 4-star? Y'all let me know, man. So next we're gonna talk about is obviously the most important part. That's gonna be the creation of your player. So this is gonna be obviously, where you start at, where you start your journey. So there's gonna be basically 4 different ways to start your player. It's gonna be the first one. We're gonna talk about underdog, the lowest overall you could be, the most difficult you can make this mode. Underdog. This is the true underdog road. It is the hardest starting point where you will see little playing time and have to earn every snap on the field, starting as a 2-star recruit with a 60 overall and only receiving 2 skill points. This journey is for those who love a challenge. So yes, we've already talked about this before. There is no high school. Yes, I understand if you still complain about and crying, bro, I get it. You feel me? I understand, but guess what? We still on this game. So with this underdog story, obviously this is gonna be the most hard, difficult route to go. Obviously there's gonna be some people who would say, who would want to be a 2-star, 60 overall player? Yes, there's gonna be people who are like that, and guess what? I'm one of those people. When y'all see the gameplays and all the, playthroughs of Road to Glory, I will be starting off as a low overall, especially early, and like I said, a couple of my videos, I'm mostly gonna be doing it to make it as hard and as challenging as possible because that's what's making it fun. If you're just going to Alabama and you're being a 5-star every single time, that's not going to be as fun as, you coming from the ground, you coming from the mud and going all the way to the top. Next up at number 3, we're going to have contributors. So this is going to be the 3 3-star athlete. Says right here, contributor. This is a 3-star prospect who may have the chance to get on the field earlier in their career, but will have to work hard for any playing time. They do not get any additional mental ability and start with only 3 skill points. So once again, this is also pretty hard, but not obviously as hard as the underdog storyline. So keep that in mind. Next up, we have the blue chip. So this right here says a blue chip prospect is a 4-star recruit with a strong starting point with a 75 overall, along with 1 mental ability and 4 skill points. This player will be able to contribute immediately to most programs and earn significant playing time at some schools. So 4-star athlete, obviously that sounds pretty accurate. You know, you're gonna get a good amount of playing time, but not obviously as much as the 5-star guys, the highest overall guys. You're not gonna get as many, you know, abilities and, you know, skill points. So blue chip, that's what that is. And then lastly, we're gonna have the elite. So this is the 5-star recruit. Like I said, I'm obviously gonna have some playthroughs where I start as a 5-star just to have a different experience. But once again, I know some of y'all gonna do this day one. So elite, starting with the highest overall, 79 overall. This player is expected to get on the field immediately and start right away at most programs across the country. Additionally, you will receive 1 extra mental ability and 5 starting skill points, which you can use to upgrade your player. We will dive further into how this will work later. What this also means is, no, you will not start like 100% on every single program. So let's say if you're a 5-star recruit and you go to Alabama, you're not starting automatically over Jalen Milroe. No, you're gonna have to, you know, work for it at some programs, and you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna get it day one at some programs. Just depending on where you go and your position is gonna depend how fast you start, basically. So in the creation process, we got the position. So obviously you gotta pick your position, what position you wanna go. Now, we've talked about this before. Yes, there's only 5 positions. I know for the tight end crowd, for the kicker crowd, I'm sorry, my boy, I don't know what to tell you, but look, we have 5 positions we can choose from: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, middle linebacker, and cornerback. Obviously, also keep in mind, you will be able to go to safety. If you go to cornerback, you can obviously sub in at safety. If you go to middle linebacker, you can sub in at D end or, you know, left outside linebacker. So yes, you do have a little bit of flexibility on the defensive side of things, but on offense, obviously, once again, you can't be a tight end. You definitely can't be a kicker in this game. You can't be an offensive lineman. So yes, keep that in mind. Also, it says right here, each position comes with its own unique set of challenges and gameplay styles, impacting where you play on the field. Next, we're going to talk about the archetypes. So yes, archetypes will be in this game. We also have seen this in Madden 25. Once again, if you guys don't know, these modes will, you know, be transferring players. So yes, you can take your Road to Glory player right over to Madden 25. So that's why this archetype system matters, because it's also in Madden 25. But with the archetypes, basically it's going to be affecting your starting attributes and your abilities. So example, scrambling quarterback, a Jalen Milroe type of quarterback, your throwing stats aren't going to be as good starting off. It's going to take more, you know, skill points. It's going to take more work to get your throwing really good compared to someone who's a field general, and you know their starting attributes are really good with throwing because they're pretty slow. So that's kind of like what the archetypes are doing. They basically affect, like I said, your starting attributes and your abilities, and you know, like I said, you're just your overall potential. Next thing they're going to show on the blog is a screenshot of the creative player kind of like screen. They don't show off obviously all the drip and everything, but you do get a little sneak peek. I ain't gonna lie, get a little sneak peek of what they got going on here. That, hey, I ain't gonna lie, the new kind of drippy. You see, got the armband on, got the arm sleeve, the rolled up jerseys, the hoodie, the pants above, I mean the pads above the knees, obviously the pants above the knees, the scrunch socks. Ooh, boy, make a grown man cry. But once again, they kind of just show the screen off. Like I said, they don't show all the gear and everything like that. But obviously, I would assume, you know, you could change your appearance. It shows right there. You can change appearance. You could change your gear, change your styles. So obviously, when we get our hands on the game, we'll obviously see what all that means. But once again, the customization should be really, really good. My biggest thing is I hope we can get the dreads on the back of the helmet. We won't know that till we actually get the game in our hands. So praying and hoping that's a thing, obviously. Next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the mental ability that you do get to pick and start off with. So it says right here, every position and journey will always have 3 core mental abilities tied to their weekly agenda meters, which we'll talk about later. Each of your core mental abilities has a activation and deactivation requirement. So let's go over it right here. It says fan favorite, this ability increases composure gains at home. It is tied to your academics. If your GPA is above 3.0, you heard me right, GPA is a factor in this. The fan favorite ability will be active. If it falls below a 3.0, then it will become deactivated. So wow, that right there already shows you the off the field stuff, the things that are not just on the football field, they matter a lot, and they will matter gameplay wise too. Next we have right here, it says Road Dog. This ability increases composure gains on the road. It is tied to your brand meter. When you reach influencer styles, it will turn on, and when it falls below that level, it will turn off. So once again, influencer, brand, this will matter, and it will affect your gameplay stuff too. And then the last one's gonna be clear-headed. This ability limits the amount of composure you will lose during gameplay. It is tied to your leadership. When you become an excellent leader, it will turn on. When it falls below that threshold, it will turn off. So this is big. That just means the off the field things matter a lot. Obviously, some of y'all don't even know what composure is. Composure is basically, do you stay in the zone, and do you get affected by crowd noise, the stadium level and all that type of stuff. Composure is gonna be a huge thing in this game, and you need to keep your composure to make sure you're always playing at your top self during this, during Road to Glory. So after choosing everything we just talked about, they do go and show a final screenshot of what your summary menu will look like when you do, finish out your play. You see right here, quarterback, field general, 6'3", 225, Caius King. You see his mentals, his physicals. You see his hometown, Orlando, Florida. Hand this right, and you see his pipeline. Yes, there will be pipelines. You will be able to choose your pipeline. It says Central Florida, so that is huge. You see his ratings, his stats that he does start off with. So looks really, really good. I love how the screen and how the overall UI looks. Next, let's go and talk about what you do right when you start as a recruit. So it says right here, your recruiting journey will begin with an interview with a local TV reporter, Dana Harper. In this interview, Dana will ask you about your motives and what drives you as a player. Just like Dynasty recruits, this will formulate your own ideal pitch. For example, do you want to compete for the national championship, become a starter early? So I know a lot of boys were asking me, how do you kind of like decide which school you're going to go to? This is going to be how you decide. And this is going to be like the big difference between every single playthrough you do. Basically, you can choose, I want a national championship contender, or I want a school that cares about academics, or I want to, there's basically 14 pitches. We've talked about this already in the Dynasty deep dive. There's 14 pitches, there's 14 questions they're gonna ask you, and those 14 things are gonna decide which teams will offer you. So obviously, once again, your status, not your status, but your overall and the star that you are. So if you're a 5-star, 79 overall, obviously there's gonna be a good chance that Alabama does offer you. But once again, you're gonna have to fit, their program. You're gonna have to fit, all the stuff they kind of bring to the table. So there's a lot of factors that go into who will offer you and how many offers you get. A lot of that stuff, like I said, with the questionnaire, with the position you choose, with your overall, there's a lot of stuff that factors into it. So it's not just, I pick Alabama. Now next, after you do finish that interview, obviously you will have your signing day. So yes, the signing day will be a thing in this game. It says right here, every school will have an interest bar that tells you how interested they are in you. In the right hand of the panel, you'll see high level information about the school, such as team overall ratings and what their record was last year, and offense and defensive schemes. Additionally, it will show whether they offered you a scholarship or not, and what is your projected role is. You can see projected depth chart and all that. So yes, that is huge. You can see, where you'd be on the depth chart. You can see if you'll be a backup. You can see how interested they are into you. Obviously, if you're a 5-star and you check a lot of boxes or whatever the case is, you're gonna have a lot more teams offered to you than obviously like a 2-star or 60 overall. So yes, that's all gonna play a part. They also kind of show the screenshots here when you do commit out of Orlando, Florida. So yes, like I said, it looks really good. Honestly, I think this was the best way of them doing it, and it looks very simple and just not very clunky and complicated. I love the menus, and I love how they kind of placed everything on the screen. Next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the weekly management. So yes, obviously, once again, like they said earlier, you're going to have to be a student athlete. You have to focus on a lot of things during the week, and you have to focus on a lot more than you would as an NFL player. NFL players don't have to worry about school and so much other stuff. Student athletes, they got to worry about a lot of stuff. So it says right here, that you have 2 main activities to focus on. First, practice is where you will earn coach trust, which is essential for improving your spot on the depth chart. The more you earn trust, the more opportunities you have to prove yourself and climb the ranks within your team. Second, your weekly agenda, and this is where you will manage your time off the field. You have to decide where to allocate your time among various activities. Do you want to focus on your academics to ensure you meet eligibility requirements and perhaps even activate certain mental abilities, Or do you want to get better in the weight room and improve your physical attributes? Alternatively, you might choose to socialize to boost your brand. Proper time management will be key to excelling in all areas. So we already talked about this in the previous, Road to Glory video. Yes, you're gonna have to focus on a lot of things. There's no such thing as a perfect way to do this. Also, there's gonna be some things where, if you focus on academics more than, brand, you're gonna miss out. Or if you even focus on everything at the same time and you try to like really balance it out, you're gonna miss out on some things because you didn't go extra hard on your academics or whatever the case is. So there's no perfect, clear-cut way to do this. Also talk about practice right here. They kind of show up for screenshot. Basically, it's gonna be very similar to how Madden is, where you have, the bronze, the silver, the gold. Obviously, that's gonna, how good you do in practice and how well you train in practice is gonna determine how much XP you get towards your player and things of that nature. So 2 different type of mini games you will have. So it says right here, we're gonna have team mini games. These involve more than just your player. You require you to work together with your other teammates. Then the second one's gonna be the skill mini games. These are more focused on your individual player skills. For example, pocket presence mini game involves you dodging projectiles and hitting targets on time. So yes, so now let's talk about the 5 things you have to worry about during the week with a student athlete experience. So first one we got is academics, because obviously the studies come first. So academics, focus on your studies will help you maintain your GPA, which is crucial for staying eligible. Next we got leadership. Spending time on leadership activities will help you earn respect and trust from your teammates and coaches, potentially leading you to a leadership role on the team. Third thing we got is gonna be health. Prioritizing your health ensures you stay injury-free and maintain peak physical condition, which is essential for constant performance. So yes, you can get hurt, and yes, you can get injured in this mode. Also, next thing we got, number 4, training. Extra training sessions will help you improve your physical attributes and skills, giving you an edge over your competition. And lastly, at number 5, we have brand, aka NIL. Working on your brand can increase your popularity and open up NIL endorsements and other off-field benefits. So yes, mastering the art of time management will ensure your success both on and off the field. So this is gonna be a huge part, and this is gonna be a big difference between, this game and Madden. With Superstar, you really have to focus, and everything didn't have a lot of, weight to it during the week. But this is gonna have a lot of weight because it matters more when you're in college. So now talking about academics again, because I know a lot of y'all boys are gonna just say F academics and not really focus on it like that. I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be a huge thing you gotta focus on with this mode, because it says right here, it's gonna say you have test readiness. Each week by spending time in academics, you will be studying, which will improve your test readiness. This is essential for performing well on midterm exams. If your test readiness is low, your likelihood of failing at midterm is increased. So basically, you're not gonna be actually taking the midterm itself, but it's gonna just depend on if you studied or not. If you studied during the week, it's basically going to increase your chances of passing. If you did not study, it's going to decrease your chances. So it just depends on, once again, you can control it by studying. You're not actually taking the test itself, but like I said, it's going to be basically up to like this. It's kind of like up to the CPU to kind of like take the test for you. And if you studied, you will pass. So that's kind of like their way of doing it, which honestly I think is the best way. I don't want to be actually taking tests while playing this mode. So I think this is a perfect way to do this. And once again, also talk about test readiness, there will be also quizzes. So it says right here, GPA, your GPA is a reflection of your academic performance and is influenced by your results on exams and quizzes. So yes, there'll be midterms and there will be quizzes also. So yes, quizzes will be a thing. And once again, it's going to depend on if you did study for that week and how much you studied during the course of a week. And yes, you can get academically ineligible. So it says right here, maintaining a GPA of 2.0 is essential for your eligibility to play in games. If your GPA falls below this threshold, you'll be ineligible to play and will be required to attend mandatory study hall sessions to improve your GPA. These study hall sessions will consume a portion of your energy of each week until your GPA is back up. So if you don't focus on your GPA, you're gonna have to basically, once again, you're gonna get academically ineligible. Then you're gonna have to go to mandatory study halls during the week instead of being able to have your free time to do other things during the week, which is insane. So next I'm gonna talk about the scenarios and dilemmas. And honestly, I'm not gonna cap, boys. I think this is gonna be on the same level as the things we were just talking about with the health, the weekly management. This is gonna be just as important. So I'm just going to read it right here. It says scenarios and dilemmas. As you progress along your journey as a student athlete, you will encounter unexpected scenarios and dilemmas that will add complexity and excitement to your experience. These scenarios and dilemmas will trigger based on your decisions you make and how you will spend your time off field. It can involve interactions with teammates, advisors, other students on campus, NIL deals, and other fun surprises that keep your journey dynamic and engaging. When faced with a new dilemma, there is no right or wrong answer. How you choose to respond will ultimately shape your journey. Your decisions will determine how your scenarios impact your various meters, such as health, brand, and coach trust. Some dilemmas will present actual conflicts, such as being asked to attend an off-campus party. Attending the party could increase your brand by boosting your social media presence, but could also require you to skip your night class. And lastly, says right here, each decision you make will contribute to your unique story and influence your journey as a student athlete. So yes, that sounds absolutely insane, bro. That sounds amazing. I love to hear that because once again, that's what's gonna make this story unique. There's so many different options and ways and decisions you can go and so many different decisions you have to make that it's gonna really make this a truly unique experience, and it's gonna have a lot of replayability because maybe one player, you have a guy who, who's super hot-headed and, he doesn't take the high road at all and he's always going to parties, but you also take another player, another playthrough where, he's very level-headed and he never goes at the fans and things of that nature. There's so many different ways to go about this, so many different decisions, and this is a huge W. I have our teammate TJ Sanders, the defensive tackle for the team, texts us. He says right here, you want to drive together to our morning government class this week. Gotta love these 8:30 a.m. lectures. Now, obviously, most people are just gonna put, agree to drive together, but you can do a sleep in or a skip class risk. So that's gonna be once again the big, unique factor between all your different storylines and players is you could go a storyline where you skip this, where you skip your class and then see what happens. So yes, you can do just that dynamic of having different options and different things to choose from is going to be a big W. Next, I go ahead and dip into the NIL deals. So yes, NILs will be a thing. So her name, image, likeness deals are a significant aspect to your journey as a student athlete, offering you opportunities to become an ambassador for various brands and earn awards. So this is not really in Dynasty because they didn't want a way to kind of like offer people NILs because that's not really a thing and that's not really like too clear in real life. But in this mode, NILs will 100% be a thing. So her NIL deals come with a duration for which they can run and the energy costs associated with them as they require some of your time. The energy cost can be either upfront or a weekly cost. Over the course of the contract, managing your energy and time effectively is crucial to balancing out your commitments. So yes, there's gonna be a time where you're gonna have a dilemma where you have a bunch of NILs. You're gonna have an NIL where you just can't meet that deliverable of the NIL. So yes, you're gonna have to basically choose and pick and be decisive on which NILs you do take. It says over here also accepting NIL deals. It also says right here, accepting an NIL deal comes with rewards, which can be provided upfront, weekly, or at the conclusion of the deal. These rewards can be 1, gameplay bonuses, improvements to your in-game attributes, such as enhanced catching ability, increased speed, or better stamina. And then the second one's going to be all-field bonuses, enhancements to one of your meters, such as increasing your number of followers, boosting your coach trust, or improving your health. So yes, NILs will be a big thing in this game, will be a big thing with this mode, and I'm so glad it is. Yes, keeping your brand high will ensure you always have the best opportunity to secure more NIL deals. Don't overlook the power of NIL deals and the flexibility they can provide to you in your weekly agenda. As a result, some opportunity and gains will be only possible via NIL deals. So yes, NIL deals, once again, you need to focus on them, and it will basically, get you a lot more stuff and a lot more, opportunities with the mode. We're going to talk about coach trust and finally position battles. So yes, position battles will be in this game. So once again, you will not automatically be a starter. You have to work through position battles to get to that #1 spot if you're not already there. So they kind of show off a couple of screenshots. Center here, battle 1, Caius King, position earned, QB1, 700 coach trust earned. The screenshot also kind of shows how they kind of like judge who gets it. So it says right here, Caius King, he did good on the option attack. He did bad on the scramble survive, good on the pass skeleton, but then L Sellers did bad on the option attack, good on scramble survive, and then bad on pass skeleton. So Caius King does win the position battle. So now we got all that out the way. Let's go and talk about some ratings and your abilities with your player. So it says right here, first thing is going to be the skill groups. Skill groups are basically going to be how you upgrade your player and basically how the attributes are kind of capped categorized under it. So basically, it's not going to be like 2K where you can, you know, upgrade every single individual stat on your player. No, it's going to be more, you know, categorized. So they show a screenshot right here of a running back. Shows right here, here's elusiveness category, you know, hands, you know, skill group, the IQ skill group, the route running skill group, power skill group, and then the quickness skill group. So it does say right here, each skill position can reach a maximum of level 10. So yes, each one will have, you know, 10 levels you kind of like go through. So elusiveness, you can get to level 10, and that will obviously have you at 99, you know, agility, 99, change direction, things of that nature. This is also going to depend on what your, like, what your, how big you are, you know, how your archetype. It's also going to depend on that. So maybe not everything, you know, if you get the level 10 elusiveness, not everything's going to be 99, depending on, you know, once again, your archetype and how big you are, how tall you are, things of that nature. So that's going to play a part also. It says right here, there are also going to be skill group caps that represent your character's maximum potential in a specific area. These caps can vary depending on your skill group, position, and archetype. So it says also, once a skill group has reached this cap, it cannot be upgraded further unless your coach possesses a archetype or basically abilities that will basically help you, you know, move it on or push it up. So yes, that will be a big thing too. You know, depending on where you go, depending on what college you go to, your coach is gonna have to have something to where, you know, you can basically boost or go past those, you know, skill group caps. So that's gonna be a big thing, and that's gonna play a big role on where you go and where you choose, you know, to play football at. So that's gonna be big. But also something I kind of want to notice here is, some of y'all probably gonna be wondering, you know, how can you upgrade your speed? There's gonna be obviously a category for that, and that's probably gonna be in quickness. So yes, there's gonna be a way to obviously upgrade your speed and things of that nature. Once again, it's just gonna be categorized, and it's gonna be grouped by skill groups. Let's talk about the mental and physical abilities you will get for your player. So first, mental, basically you're gonna get these by doing goals or like in-game goals, like throwing 20 touchdowns in the season, things like that. And it's also going to be determined by your status or, you know, your level of a certain, you know, health category or the academics category. The things we talked about earlier, those are also going to play a big part in your mental abilities. Mental abilities are just going to be as good as the physical abilities, because it's going to determine your composure and things of that nature. Now, going into the physical abilities, this is going to be solely on rating. So say, for example, if you want 360 on bronze or 360 on silver, you're going to need a certain threshold. You're going to need to meet a certain threshold with the rating to get that ability. So that's gonna be how you determine. I mean, that's gonna determine how you get these physical abilities. It's gonna be 100% by the ratings itself. You have to reach 90, you know, juke to get some like gold 360. Let's then go and hop into some gameplay. So they do show a gameplay screenshot right here of South Carolina quarterback gameplay. So it says right here in Road to Glory, our goal is to immerse you deeply into the game environment, making you feel every moment on the field. During gameplay, the effects of home field advantage are palpable. As a quarterback, you'll experience challenges such as incorrect pre-play art, missing button icons, and miscommunication with your receivers when attempting to hot route them. These obstacles are designed to simulate the pressures of playing in high-stakes environments. Also says this is where your composure and mental abilities become crucial. If your leadership meter is high, you have the ability to keep your teammates calm and composed, especially at the start of a big game. So once again, mental abilities, you need them, and you need to focus on them with this game so you always stay level-headed and playing at your top self every game. We also talk about some of the brand new camera angles and how they're doing the camera angles with this mode. Also says right here, when you are in a zoomed in camera angle, you will press RT/R2 to open up the coach cam, and then move the left stick to pan the camera angle side to side. If you prefer a different view, you can always back up the camera angle by pressing down the D-pad. So you will be able to kind of like pan side to side and see the entire field before the play is snapped, and that is a huge W, and I love that. And you should also be able to do that for the other positions on the field too. So they do say that wear and tear will be in this mode. Like I said, you can get hurt, you can get injured. Yes, that will be a thing, and that will be tied to the wear and tear. Says right here, wear and tear will play a central role in the Road to Glory gameplay, requiring you to actively manage your character's physical condition. Unlike Dynasty players, your character in Road to Glory does not automatically recover from wear and tear on a week advance, making it critically important to enter each game on good health. The wear and tear damage you carry into the game will affect your starting condition on the field. So yes, this will play a big part. You cannot just get hit stick 20 times as a quarterback and think you're going to be good on a week-to-week basis. No, you will need to actually, you know, take care of your player. And if you take care of him, you won't have to do as much, you know, health and recovery throughout the week. It also says during the game, you'll be able to monitor your wear and tear stats every time you're taken off the field. The screen provides vital information on your current attribute hits and damaged body parts. So this is huge. It also says, remember, the more damaged a body part is, the higher risk of sustaining an injury. So yes, you will be able to kind of like see, you know, your stats during the game and seeing it on the fly, which is a huge W. Lastly, it says right here, along with wear and tear status, you'll be able to see additional game insights, including your current game stat line, how much coach trust you've earned this game, and the key moments that positively and negatively impacted your coach trust in the last drive. Keeping a close eye on the wear and tear stats and managing your health effectively, you can reduce the risk of injury and maintain peak performance throughout the season. So yes, this is gonna play a big part, and I love that they're adding this because this is something we've never seen in Madden in their career mode, never seen it. And last thing, gameplay-wise, they're going to talk about is going to be play calling. I know a lot of y'all boys was wondering how the play calling is going to work, and y'all always had a big problem with how play calling works in Madden. So let's see how they do it here. So it says right here, within gameplay, you will initially have access to limited play calling. On the play selection screen, you will see only one player the coach has selected for you. So yes, you will see the screenshot right here, and boom, you do see, you know, you have play changes remaining. You have limited, so you can only choose gun, tight end, screen. So yes, this will be a thing. You will not be initially be able to choose every single play or choose any play you want to whenever you want. No, you're gonna need to gain it by getting coach trust. So this is a big W because it's not just automatic. You have to earn it with coach trust. You have to earn it over time to be able to open up the playbook for yourself. And one last thing it does say, once you get to the line of scrimmage, you will not have the ability to change the play via audibles. However, you can still make pre-snap adjustments to optimize your chances of success by high rounding your receivers. Additionally, you'll be able to initiate no huddle after the play to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. So yes, you will be able to change the tempo. You will be able to change, you know, the hurry up offense, whatever the case is, but you will not be able to, you know, change the, you will not be able to audible. So you will not be able to change it to a run call or change it to a completely different pass call. You're able to do hot routes, and you're able, like I said, to change the tempo of the game, but you cannot audible to a different play, which once again, I understand and I see what they're going for. I think it's going to work honestly pretty good. Now boys, the final and last thing we gotta talk about is gonna be the transfer portal. Yes, I know a lot of boys were asking me, is it gonna be a transfer portal? Yes, let's go ahead and talk about it. So they're going to show off a couple of screenshots here, how the transfer portal will kind of look. It says right here, in the world of Road to Glory, the transfer portal is just as pivotal as real life. At the end of each season, your player will face a crucial decision: stay loyal to their current school or transfer or enter the transfer portal to explore new opportunities. This choice isn't just a simple yes or a no. It's a gateway to new adventures and possibilities based on your player's performance throughout the season. The potential suitors lining up for your player won't just be random picks. There'll be schools that align with your player's performance and key pitches that initially attracted them during the recruitment process. So that's gonna be huge. So once again, the original things that you look for in schools, that's gonna also play a part into your transfer portal. So let's just say, you're during your recruitment as a 5-star, you didn't get Alabama offered to you. Well, guess what? When you go to that transfer portal, they're probably not going to offer you either, again, because that's not originally what you wanted. So no, it's not just going to be all schools or laid out on the line and you could choose any school you want. No, it's going to be still based on your pitch performances, your pitch questions. Also going to determine your performance and everything of that nature. So no, it will not just be every school is interested in you. That's not going to be what it is. And yes, you will be able to transfer as many times as you want. And yes, you will be able to redshirt during Road to Glory. And finally, they do go ahead and show off a screenshot of what it will look like when you do retire from college football, or you can even export your player once again to Madden 25 Superstar mode. Now, we don't know exactly what your overall is going to be once you export your player to Madden 25. We don't know that. Maybe it's just going to be just your player likeness, your name, your face, and all that type of stuff. We don't know, like I said, what the overall is going to be, but once again, they do show off a screenshot, and yes, that will be a thing. It's the seamless transition from college to the Madden NFL game. And that is everything you guys need to know for Road to Glory. So y'all, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what position we should start with. Wide receiver, cornerback. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what position you guys will start off with. Let me know in the comments below. Are y'all excited for it? Do y'all love all the information we got today? Let me know in the comments below. But all right, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more bangers just like this one. And until next time, peace.